Hey guys, JuV Day 22, and I thought for today's video I would do that dreamcasting thing that I did way back at the start of JuV with my short film for uni, and I would take that and I would do that on Bunker 12, the web series I did for college last year. Now obviously I had a pretty good cast for that already, apart from myself, because I couldn't get someone else at the last minute, but I had a good cast for that and they were great. But this is the sort of thing, if I had like no budget concerns at all, if there was like any sort of big budget like Hollywood take version of this, these are some of the people that I would kind of think for those characters. So there was a very small cast for this series that I'd made, and it boils down to really 6 characters. The first one of them was Alison, who was a girl with a bit of an edge. She was a bit of an abrasive person, but she was ultimately good-natured. She just found difficulty in caring for people, almost. That's kind of the way I envisaged her. And so actresses that I'd kind of looked at for her just now when I was looking into this were Madison Iseman, who played the cool girl in the Jumanji reboot sequel things of the last couple of years, as well as Isabel Fuhrman, who played Clove in The Hunger Games, and Kiernan Shipka, who obviously needs very little introduction anymore, being as she's kind of captured the public consciousness with several different things. They all kind of struck me as being ones that would work pretty well for this character. Another of the main characters in the show was Charlie, who's another girl and was a bit more sensitive, a bit more prone to anxiety, and just she'd kind of gone through life thinking her mum was crazy, but turns out to have been saved by her mother in the whole situation that they end up in, and so needed someone with a slightly more sympathetic and sort of sensitive look. And so I've got a couple of folk that I went for here, which were Catherine Newton, who played the lead in the Pokemon Detective Pikachu movie, and also Abigail Karen, who I wasn't familiar with, but she'd been in Stranger Things and Chilling Adventures of Sabrina, and another one I wasn't familiar with, Tatsumi Romano, who had been in a lot of interesting stuff, but she really sort of, I've never seen her in anything, but she had a good look for the character, and yeah, it felt like the range that she had from IMDb was pretty good for that. Good for the character. So now we come to the character that I played in the series. I don't think I did a very good job, but I'm pretty sure these guys would, in the form of Tom Holland, who really doesn't need any sort of explanation. He's Spider-Man. And I hadn't seen anything that these other two have been in, but they were in something together. So Brett Gray and Ethan Harris, I think that's how you say it, but they both had a good range for the character. He's pretty depressed and is worried about relapsing into depression, and that's the sort of core of his character beat, but he's getting over it again, sort of thing. The other main character in the series is Kennedy, who gets trapped in another bunker, dealing with grief and sort of feeling like he needs to be left to die so that the others don't get, like, killed while trying to save him. And I kind of looked at a couple of folk that he needed to be a little bit older looking than the others, but the people that I looked at for him were Asa Butterfield and Aaron Kassam. Asa really, again, is another big actor that doesn't need much in the way of introduction at all, but Aaron Kassam has been in stuff that I didn't know that I'd seen him in. And he seems like he's a good actor. Again, good range for what I was looking for the character. There are 2 other characters in the series that are slightly more minor roles, to be honest, and I had originally been going to take on one of them beforehand, but before I had to take on one of the main roles. But The characters are Carl and Sam, who are in another bunker and are friends with Charlie's mother, who made the bunker they're in. And I'd originally meant for them to be two men, but because of the way that things had gone, I ended up with having to use friends that it ended up with them looking like a straight couple. So the people that I've identified for these characters are Tom Hardy and James Franco, and Russell Tovey and Carl Urban. Both sets of them are sort of scruffier looking guys, but that can seem like they were apocalypse preppers before everything else had happened. And I thought that that was a good sort of way of doing things for that. This has been an interesting exercise to play around with. I hadn't really thought of this as a thing until I had to do it for uni. So now I know about it. So it's good. The selections that I've come up with have been mainly pretty white, though I did try and push out the boat a bit more. And I think that's partly just because IMDb listed mostly white people first when I was having a browse through, but I think some of them are still, like, there's definitely room for range in that front in from other races and etc. etc. I think that it's a decent enough selection. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you remember to like and share it and subscribe to my channel. Click on the thumbnails down below to see other videos by me, and I will see you guys tomorrow for the next day of JuV. Bye!